My mission is simple, to make you money. I'm here to level the playing field for all investors. There's always a bull market somewhere, and I promise to help you find it. Mad Money starts now. Hey, I'm Cramer. Welcome to Mad Money. Welcome to Cramerica. My friends, I'm just trying to make you a little bit of money. My job is not just to entertain, but to educate, put it in context. Call me, 1-800-743-CNBC. Tweet me at Jim Cramer. Admit it. Admit it. When you first heard about artificial intelligence, whoa, you were suspicious. Wasn't it all hype? Who could it really help besides, say, Amazon, which is always trying to figure out what else you might want from your purchasing history? Wasn't everything else just kind of a given? As more companies started talking about AI, our suspicion only grew. ChatGPT might be a lot of fun, but it felt like kind of a parlor trick rather than a business opportunity. Generative AI just seemed like a product in search of a need, but eventually it started driving up the whole market, creating days like today, where the Dow gained 322 points, S&P jumped 1.03%, NASDAQ pulverized a nice 1.26%. Oh, a smart snapback from yesterday's sudden and vicious sell-off. But here we are 1 year after the AI demon was unleashed, and people are still finally trying to figure out what to do with the darn thing. It won't be left behind, though. This morning, we saw how broad the use cases for AI are growing, though, when Micron, MU, the gigantic chip maker, reported a true blowout quarter and told us that AI is causing a gigantic refresh for all sorts of tech, from cell phones and personal computers to autos and the Internet of Things. Well, isn't that just about everybody? As Micron said, and I quote, "We are in the very early stages of a multi-year growth phase catalyzed and driven by generative AI, and this disruptive technology will eventually transform every aspect of business and society," end quote. Micron's comments propelled the whole tech complex, as they should, because it really is a whole new world. Right now, people are still scrambling to figure out how best to use their own data to find patterns, maybe make their jobs better. Not everybody knows what to do with it. And by the way, that's one of the reasons why I like the stock of Snowflake so much. Many companies, when they hear of AI, don't want to spend a fortune on equipment, which is why they rent the cloud via Snowflake, then try to figure out what AI can do for them. We are, though, starting to see some real examples, and seems like Micron is very right, and that AI is very compelling for many businesses. What are the main uses? What's driving this incredible demand that Micron's seeing now that we're a year in? Well, I went right to the source. I went to ChatGPT and my buddy pal friend Bard over at Google to see what people are using generative AI for, and it's pretty darn cool. Even as Bard admonishes that determining the absolute top 10 uses can, I quote, be subjective depending on the perspective and emphasis, end quote. What a weasel. Chat just gives it to you straight. No hedging. First, my Shakespearean AI buddy says, in so many words, that people are actually checking their brain and letting Bard do the creativity with art and music generation. Everything from stunning visuals, photorealistic landscapes, abstract paintings to original music. Kind of like the music that accompanied an NVIDIA presentation, or the machine I commanded to draw me an oxymoronic Cézanne seascape when I was at NVIDIA. It can write storylines in games or scripts. No wonder the writers went on strike. Of course, website copy, child's play. Healthcare. AI is superior at drug discovery because it can blow through immense data sets to find promising drug candidates. It can help diagnose, too, much better at interpreting an MRI than a human can. It also has the potential to personalize medicine, although we haven't gotten that far on that one yet. Oh, it's got all sorts of productivity enhancements, too. AI can come up with new product concepts and variations. It can innovate and optimize, which probably speaks to our own inadequacies. And it can create chatbots and virtual assistants that can do routine things. But so far, I've found that to be incredibly annoying if you're asking anything different from a standard query. Because when it gets stumped, you get routed to planet Mars. Remember, this is Bard taking the data and bragging. But it can create synthetic data, and it can train other machines to be better at being machines. It can create personalized learning materials to make education more engaging, which is a borderline impossible task for most humans. Bard does point out that this is just a glimpse, but to me, it's pretty clear that anything I can do, Bard can do better. Anything Bard can do, I can do worse. Yes, it can. ChatGPT is more of the point. Just direct. It says generative AI is good at advanced language translation. It can have natural and context-aware conversations. It can imagine and synthesize tasks, offer realistic image generation, do medical imaging and diagnosis, as well as help gaming development in creating molecular structures while making better compounds for medicine, not to mention assessing risk and market trends and generating financial reports for all sorts of businesses. Or to translate, albeit not as well as my pal Bard or ChatGPT could, generative artificial intelligence can pretty much do whatever it wants, anything we want it to. And if we don't ask it, another enterprise will, and that competitor will get the answer faster and better than we can arrive at it, which is why everybody is ordering all this stuff. More important, it's very hard to come up with something your brain does that AI doesn't do in a smarter, faster fashion. Off the top of your head, go back to when you were at school. Wouldn't you say that other than recess, it's more efficient and effective than anything you tried to learn and they tried to teach? At least we still have the monkey bars, seesaws. Compared to AI, we're just slouches. I mean, as someone who was tracked in track 4 of 4, with the 1 being the best, I can tell you that hands down, I can't think of a thing that I learned that's valuable now versus what I can get from these machines. We should have just sat there and watched Our Mr. Sun or that movie about the dinosaurs walking to their death in the desert and enjoyed ourselves. But then again, I don't want to sell either of these too short. I got real smart after track 4 and got summa cum laude in my general exams at Harvard. But I can tell you, once again, that that was mainly because I have trouble sleeping, so I could stay up for a 48-hour cram session and still take the test really well. What's scary is that I think Bard, not ChatGPT, but I think Bard could have crushed me. All that studying for nothing. Okay, I digress. Here's what's really crazy. Both programs managed to spit out pretty much everything that we humans need to do at the office. In the old days, scientists and technicians and engineers would find ways to obviate jobs where we had to use our hands. Now it seems to obviate our brains. So, to go full circle, because AI is so amazing, we may never again have enough semiconductors to meet the demand of all those use cases, because it's hard to think of something these two programs really can't do. Yes, tonight we have Cintas, which delivers uniforms and safety equipment to 1 million clients, but they like Google Cloud, probably immune. Domino's Pizza, hard to think that machines couldn't do better. How about trucking with they use Microsoft? Levi's, good company, but I wouldn't be surprised if AI can't make it better. These tasks all seem like the height of machines' creativity. But you know what? We're actually still just in the first year of the explosion. The good news, generative AI can't do everything. The bad news, what it can do, it does better than we'll ever do, unless maybe you're Einstein or Beethoven or Oppenheimer and Mozart. I would want to say Picasso, Matisse, but I've seen what those two can do with modern art, and nobody's safe in that profession anymore. Bottom line, once AI really gets going, boy, will we ever have a lot of time on our hands. All the more reason to invest in stocks now before the robots put us out of work and all the easy money has been made. Let's go to Dustin in Colorado. Dustin.
Hey, Jim. It's Dustin. How you doing?
Dustin, I'm all set for you.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I just had a question
Dustin?
about Campbell's. I was
Hit
thinking
the AI
about.
button. Give me a question, please.
Oh, Campbell's.
There, Dustin, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I was thinking about Campbell's, where it's going to be the coldest time of the year coming up, and I'm thinking with it being pretty low, I'm thinking it would be a pretty good stock to pick. I was seeing what you had.
Well, you know what? This is just, Mark Klaus is in, and this is what speaks to how tough it is at Campbell's. I think Mark Klaus is a brilliant business person, a veteran. He's done great things, and yet every single thing he's done, and he still can't get the earnings breakout. I want to hold on to it, too, and not just because, boy, I don't know if you had the seasonal Pepperidge Farm, but they are killers. But we got to wait. Sam in Pennsylvania, please. Sam.
Jim, before I begin, I just would like to point out, I saw you this morning discuss the single-day options and that price action yesterday. And I just want to highlight, I think that's something we should be paying attention to.
You're absolutely right. We did a good piece off the charts about it. I read through it again today. It is absolutely true. They can be in control because they're 40% of the options market. So we got to be very careful on days where there's not a lot of volume. Sam, how do we go to work together?
So, Jim, listen, now that we've got the Fed talking about reducing interest rates, demand for single-family housing has been nothing but strong. And as interest rates begin to decline, that is something that should only pick up. One of the more important things that every single American house, almost every single American house has in there is Whirlpool. And with interest rates coming down, I would expect Whirlpool to begin to do quite well. They do $20 billion in revenue. And it's got a market cap only.
Well, I got to tell you, Sam, I felt the same way. And Jeff Marks and I got together, and we would put Whirlpool in we put it in the bullpen. I thought it was going to be a blowout quarter, and they didn't deliver the quarter that I expected. So instead, we bought Stanley Black & Decker, and I think that's the better way to play the same theme. despite this morning, we saw just how broad the use cases for AI are, and it propelled all of tech. I think you want to invest in the strong players now before the robots put us all out of jobs. Mad Money tonight. Domino's laid out a 5-year strategic plan called Hungry for More at its investor day earlier in the month, and I am learning more about what will drive the next level of growth for the pizza chain with the company CEO. Then trying to get a read on the economy heading into the new year? Look no further than Cintas. I'm seeing what the business services company has to say when it comes to their 1 million customers in North America. But first, Levi's is set to welcome former Kohl's CEO Michelle Goss as CEO beginning in January, and I'm getting the latest on the handover from the company's incoming and outgoing CEO. So stay with Cramer.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow at Jim Cramer on X. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadMentions. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.